Hi everyone. Firstly, from me, from my board of directors and our great staff here at the FBAA, hope you have a wonderful Christmas with family and friends and a very safe New Year's. Get ready for 2021. It's going to be a rip. It's going to be a big year, but like every year, it's not without its challenges. So let me break there and let's talk about what some of those challenges look like that are critical in our industry as we step into 1st of January 2021. These are very, very important pieces. You need to be across and understand. So two things that have recently concluded, if you like, in the last week. One is on consumer asset finance for mortgage brokers and how that's to be treated as per an advice or guidance piece that came out from ASIC last Friday. We can the best interest duty as it applies to credit cards that are bundled into a home loan. So let's start there. So on Saturday just past, I received an email that stated where the banks had landed in relationship to assisting brokers when it comes to doing due diligences on credit cards that are bundled into a home loan or standalone as required under the regulatory guide RG273 as put out by ASIC. Now, we do not agree where this has landed. We have not agreed where this has landed from day one from when the regulatory guidance came out. Because they turned around and said, ASIC turned around and said, you must apply the best interest duty to every product within the bundle. Now, when we met with government last year and the beginning of this year, it was stated very clearly that the duty was to be applied to the predominant debt within the bundle. Right? That was the way it was meant to land. And the regulator of ASIC has gone far beyond that. So now we've been arguing, debating, discussing nicely, have a look at it with our regulator in regards to how that played. And basically, although we know that we're correct and that's been confirmed, nothing's changing. So we've then been dealing with the lenders through their association and so on to reach out to them and ask them what are they doing to assist brokers with that. And the information came back on Saturday basically saying from a couple of the lenders anyhow, and I assume that is how all the lenders are facing things at the moment, that if broker, when they're looking at a home loan that's got a bundled credit card or a standalone card, they need to go through the lender portal or to the bank's website and look for it yourself. Basically, that's where it lands. Personally, I actually find that really bad. When we look at how a best interest duty is going to apply and how ASIC would look at things, we're basically saying, well, you're on your own to try and sort it out and everything crossed that you get it right, because you may not. And what happens if you can't find something? What happens if the information you're there is that buried you couldn't seek, you just wasn't able to be sought? Who's going to be responsible for that under a best interest duty? But anyhow, that's where that landed. Lenders have said, you're on your own, go sort it out. There is a but to that, and I'll come to that in a minute. Friday with that piece that came out on consumer asset finance from ASIC and trying to give some more descriptive analysis as to where they believe that you should be doing your due diligences and what that looks like. ASIC have basically said that it is the expectation to be in line with the best interest duty that you write the interest rate down to as low as possible. The lowest possible rate is down to a zero margin. That means you write the loan at no income. That is completely ludicrous, commercially unreasonable. I spoke yesterday with ASIC on this. They rang me post the emails that I'd sent, and rightly or wrongly, and especially at this time of year, it's very wrong. Nothing can change between now and 1 January. So this video is all about letting you know what will happen 1 January, and we will continue to fight this and work with it higher level come the new year when people are back from leave. You have every right to earn income. It's a free market economy. Credit cards with a bundled home loan, I'd be taking screenshots of everything I look and land on to prove what it was that I used for my validation of acting in the best interest of the client. Some people in our industry, very senior people and very skilled people when it comes to compliance, are saying, well, they're getting some early advice, and this is anecdotal, that lenders, and we're talking about ADIs, the banks, because these are the credit cards is all the world of the banks, not the non-banks, so that is space. So all the banks will have an option come 1 January to opt out of providing a credit card to the client. So you can have an opt-out provision and dump the credit card out of the package. Some people are saying maybe the guidance will be from them around don't have any of those products in your suite that you recommend to a client. So just don't have it in there, because you can't apply a best interest duty to the credit card effectively without the risk of breaching the best interest duty. But I have a problem with both of those scenarios. And what happens if ASIC knocks on the door and says, prove to me you acted in the best interest of the client in taking that particular credit card out of the bundle, or not offering a home loan that had that, even though you've got access to that within your lender accreditations. Prove to me that was in the best interest of the client. You may be able to. I'm just highlighting the bone of contention that sits around this. And I don't have an easy answer to it. The only thing I will say in regards to staying on the topic of that bundled credit card, is stay very close to your licensee, your ACL, your aggregator. They're the ones that are going to give you the legal guidance on that as they believe it to be. Now, I can assure you one thing: there are problems with credit cards that are bundled into a home loan. There is a significant and serious fracture and problem in regards to mortgage brokers being expected to write loans, motor vehicle loans as the example, at zero income. Just completely unreasonable and unrealistic. These things must change. One answer to the motor piece is that flex commissions get thrown in the bin, and the financiers, and I petition all financiers in Australia to look at this, is that they in turn change their commission structures so that, same as a home loan, here's the rate and here's the percentage or the dollar amount that you get paid for writing that loan. Flex is gone. There's another issue with doing that when it comes to motor vehicle dealers, but I'll leave that to one side. Let's just talk about us for the moment. So that is one potential answer to the flex issue. And the credit card piece, seriously, good luck with that. Hopefully the unbundling of the package works, or not having that sort of product in your offering works. I seriously am concerned about the question from ASIC: have you really acted in the best interest of the client by doing that? But that's not my call. Speak to your aggregator. May I suggest one thing to you as a piece to hold close to and tight to, and that is, if you think you've done enough, after you look back and go, yeah, I've done this, I've done that, I've done the other, I'm all good, I've met the obligation of best interest duty. If you're at that point and think you've done enough, may I suggest you probably haven't. We know some very skilled people in our industry who have had a recent review by ASIC. They are, I know their systems, I know their people, they're best of breed, and think they've got it nailed, even to the point that some of their brokers were pushing back, going, it's way too much work. ASIC had a look at their files and said, yeah, not enough. That's a concern. Once other people are back from their holidays, some have already gone, which makes things impossible to change between now and 1 January. You and I, and my great staff, are still here working. The others have buggered off on leave. So that's a problem, and stalls us for a little bit. But as soon as I get over that hump, even though I'll be on holidays, I will be putting together some very high-level meetings to start and bring this in focus from the top down. But for now, 1 January is Friday week. Nothing will change from today. If you're a mortgage broker, you'll be expected, if ASIC bangs on your door, that you would have written a motor vehicle loan or consumer asset loan, for a more generic encompassing term, at the lowest possible rate. That means you have written that loan at no income. End of story. That's what it says. Yeah? That's a problem. 2, credit cards bundled into a home loan, big problem. It's up to you to do the due diligence. Hopefully your aggregator is there working with the lenders, whether the opt-out piece comes in, whether you take that off your panel, whatever it is. I don't believe they are necessarily the right answers. It should never have been there in the first place. That was the right answer. That's the thing that made sense. Everything now makes no sense. So forget that for a minute. All the best for Christmas. Have a great one. Really keen to catch everyone in 2021. And secret squirrel, so don't tell anyone. FBAA conference, everybody's been busting for, largest conference of its kind in the whole country.